Hi guys, this is Lachette from Scarlet Moon Creations, and I'm back with a new video for the YouTube Pagans ABC Challenge. And we're up to the letter Q. And after much thought and deliberation, pretty much from the beginning of this series of videos, I decided to do questions. Querent and questing. They're all related, being related to the act of asking, finding, of answering a question. And these are acts that are pivotal and what's the word, a cornerstone to just life in general. However, specifically to paganism, I think they're very important. In most pagan religions, the purpose, or let's start over, in any religion really, or spiritual practice even, I think the underlying foundational purpose is to kind of find your purpose. Each individual is trying to find out their reason for being, the reason they exist, and maybe more specifically their purpose in life, or what are they supposed to do with their life that they didn't ask for, they're just here. And part of the answer to those questions is the cosmology, which is what starts to differentiate the different spiritual practices and religions, meaning like, how did we get here? What created us? What made human beings? What made life on this planet? What made the universe? And answering those questions is what spiritual practices and specifically religions often do. And then from there we get the doctrine of how you are supposed to, I guess, seem grateful for your existence, and for the existence of the world around you, the people around you, the universe. Or if not seem grateful, but finding the what to do with this existence. And for most people, being grateful you exist is kind of the default. How you show your gratitude is different from person to person. But as you can see, just from my 2-minute rambling, we've already asked a bunch of questions, because questions are where things start. Who, what, where, when, and why, and how are the basic, I guess, questions of life, and we take them with us, and part of, in my opinion, part of what makes sentient life is the ability to ask questions in whatever language or form, whether it's body language or verbal communication. It's curiosity is what I believe an important foundation for what makes sentient beings. We are curious, so we ask questions, right? So taking that a step further from the general idea of spiritual practices and religions, I think that pagan traditions, definitely non-monotheistic, though there are sects and parts of the monotheistic religion that do highlight and focus on questions, they are not the majority, I guess. It's a little bit easier to follow than to lead. And I mean, everyone can't be a leader. Asking questions and going out to find the answers in the wilderness that is the world or our minds, or just the unknown. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong. There's no like blame on either side as far as I'm concerned. I don't like, if you're not a leader, then you're not important. That's not how I feel. And vice versa. There's no like shame on leaders from my point of view. So anyway, I think that pagan traditions not being as doctrine focused, or not being structured, that's what I'm talking about. Not having a set structure that every single person is expected to follow within those traditions, or not as strict about the structures, I should say, it leaves the door open for individuality more, and therefore uniqueness, unique thought, and free will, and also people need more discipline, in my opinion, and focus to kind of get to where they're going, to follow their quests for answers, and that makes it a little bit more difficult. Like I said, you need more discipline and focus to kind of get where you're going. It's a more meandering trip, and that is, again, okay. You are on this, lifelong quest to kind of find your purpose or live your purpose, and that's I keep saying this, that's okay. That is okay. I guess I have to tell myself this, and I'm sure other people do as well, just kind of like reassuring, like, oh, you're not where you thought you would be at this time, and that's okay. That is fine. This is not saying this kind of like we're brushing off concerns, but like legitimately, I mean that. Honestly, I feel like having questions, being on this spiritual quest to quote unquote find yourself, that's like the first step into paganism. Off of the road of organized religion, where things are not so organized and structured, that's where people often, I guess, begin. And maybe not the first step into paganism, maybe into New Age, the esoteric, the occult, witchcraft, whatever the first step is. You have a question for whatever reasons that could not be found in the organized structure, organized religion that you were exposed to growing up. You want to know the answers, and maybe you realize that no one can tell you the answers, and you have to figure them out on your own, and you have decided that you are ready to do so. You are ready to go on this quest to find whatever it is that you need to find. It may be just a spiritual quest, not necessarily a physical one, but sometimes the physical helps. Hence, things like altars and shrines, and I'm forgetting the word, but trips to spiritual places, whatever your spirituality or religion is. But it could also be, lots and lots of meditation, or lots and lots of, I'm forgetting a lot of terms. They're like on the tip of my tongue today. But a lot of shadow work. You're just trying to find a deeper understanding of yourself and what your purpose is. And that is, you are the querent. You are the person asking the question. And sometimes you help others. And I learned in the last year or so that is a lot of what light working is, a light worker. So you do shadow work, learning about yourself, learning about those dark parts of you, whatever they may be, the things you don't like to acknowledge about yourself, so they're in the shadows. And then as you learn this, helping others look at their shadows or learn about their shadows is the light work. And that can be anything. Both are healing, and I just appreciate that knowledge that I didn't know I was looking for, that question that I had always was kind of sitting there, like, what exactly makes light work. And I found that answer unknowingly. So anyway, to wrap this up, because this is kind of really quick, it's very, there's no set rules about asking questions, about having questions, about going to find the answer to those questions for anyone. It's just something that we do as sentient beings, and honestly, it keeps us from being bored, right? If you have something you're curious about, you go out and find out more information about it, and that is something that fills up your time. Practice and learning and questioning. Divination, I think, is a kind of more direct as divination can be, but it's a more concrete form of questioning and going on quests. You're out there, you're asking questions, and you're getting some kind of answer, but your quest, your journey to those answers is through the divination form, whether it be the cards for cartomancy, tarot, and oracle, Lenormand, or I Ching, or tea leaves, or the firelight, or the clouds in the sky. They each having their own way of communicating the answers. And that's all I have to say about questions, Querent, and questing. If let me know what you guys think about this video, about how having questions and searching for answers is part of being pagan and having a spiritual practice, or just a spiritual experience, or life in general. What do you think about what I've said here? Do you agree or disagree? I'd really like to know. So with that, I'll end this video here, and I'll see you for the next one. You can find tarot readings in the links down below if you would like to purchase one and be a querent of mine and get some of your questions answered, or pointing you in the direction towards answers. You can find that, like I said, in the link down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.